Welcome to Low Country Spotlight. I'm your host, Margie Pizarro. So happy you could be here with us today. Now, today we have a very special show because we are introducing yet another special segment. This segment is going to be called Artist Corner. And from time to time, we're going to feature certain artists or, theater productions or other people who are just doing things in the entertainment industry here right in the Charleston area. Now, you know that for the past couple of years, Charleston has been nationally ranked in terms of being a fabulous tourist destination. And in addition to being a great tourist destination, we also have a lot of good things going on that people from out of town and people that live here can enjoy as well. So today's guest in our Artist Corner is none other than Sherry Grace Wenger, and she is the artistic director for the Midtown Theater Company. We want to welcome you to Low Country Spotlight. So happy you could be here with us today.
Thanks for having me, Margie. I really appreciate it.
Well, I'm glad you can come. Now tell us a little bit about your Midtown Theater Group and some of the things that you do.
Well, we've been in existence since 1989, and we've kind of been vagabonds all over the place. We started out in dinner theater in downtown where the Harbor Club is now. Also, from there we moved out to the Cavallero restaurant when that was still a restaurant, and did dinner theater there. We started a show called Rock and Roll Heaven.
Okay.
And that's what most people know us from, because that's what we get the most audience to.
Right.
And then other big shows that we've done that people know us for are always Patsy Cline. But we also do really wonderful regular straight plays and other kinds of musicals like Cabaret and Little Shop of Horrors and Blood Brothers and that sort of thing.
Well, Little Shop of Horrors, that was probably one of my favorite movies, I think, with Rick Moranis and Tisha Campbell. Yeah. And so you all have your own take on that.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's really unusual to find a movie that is as good as a stage play. Yeah. That one was.
Okay.
So another one that is West Side Story. I love that one. We've done that one before, and I could watch the movie a million times. There are some movie versions that I don't ever want to watch again.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the ones that are made for the stage and made into a movie, it's really hard to translate that onto a screen.
Yeah, and that's so interesting because I actually had an opportunity to go to New York and on Broadway, and I saw Wicked, and of course, what is that? What is that? Not Cinderella. That is based on what is it based on?
Dorothy, the Yellow Brick Road.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it was the theater production of it was so different than what the movie was like. And I know the movie was old and things of that nature. So how important do you think it is for either the movie to stay true to the stage production, or maybe even vice versa, or if it even matters vice versa?
Well, Wicked was a prequel to The Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
So it's never been done before. It was a whole new work of art unto itself.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it for that reason. And then The Wiz is more like the story of The Wizard of Oz is the African American version, which was just because of the difference in the movement and the funk of it.
Right.
It made it something even more special. It's just made it different. I like reimagining things like that.
And it seems that theater allows you to do that. For example, I would imagine, going in to see Wicked or going in to see Cabaret, I might leave feeling one way or seeing something, experiencing something, and you or someone else might leave feeling something different.
Right.
So how important is it, do you think, for your imagination and your juices to flow and things of that nature in terms of trying to put your own spin on it, or do you just rely on what the artists are portraying?
Yeah, well, it's no set fast rule.
Yeah.
You go in and you're going to get whatever you get out of it anyway. I like to be true to the playwright or the original intent as much as possible. But you always have to put your own kind of little flavor in it.
And how do you determine that? I don't know if that's what poetic license is, so that you make your own interpretation. How do you determine, is it based on a type of audience that you're seeking or catering to, or maybe even, where something that you see in Broadway might be perceived a little bit differently than you see here in Charleston just because of the difference in the cultures?
Yeah. Well, I've seen things on Broadway and then seen the same thing in Charleston, and sometimes Charleston's a little bit better.
Yeah.
I think.
I probably agree with you on that one.
I mean, Broadway is great, and it's not always the best. So, and often it's fabulous. So, I love going to Broadway to see what new is happening, and I like to see old things brought back. We like to do things that are a little more classic and old, and bring them back. Otherwise, people will forget about them if we don't keep doing them. And And that usually requires a little bit of reinvention, a little bit of reimagination.
Right. Have you all done any, what are some of the original productions that you all have? And have they been based on, again, Charleston culture and our way of life here?
Not really based, no. I like to do, well, I talked before about Rock and Roll Heaven.
Yeah.
And that's just
Tell us a little bit more about that
It's
one.
imagining heaven where the rock stars go when
Okay.
they die,
Okay.
And you can imagine it. It's just the most fun place to be.
Wow.
And we write little scenarios of what they're doing together. It's like Big Mama Thornton.
Okay.
I don't know if you know the background on her, but she wrote Hound Dog, Nothing But a Hound Dog,
Yeah.
and Ball and Chain.
Okay.
And she had a little bit of a drug problem, and so she was taken advantage of, and had her songs bought from her for like $50. And they ended up being huge hits for Elvis Presley and Janis Joplin and people like that. So in heaven, in Rock and Roll Heaven, Big Mama Thornton is looking for Elvis Presley and Janis Joplin because they stole her song and made $1 million on it.
Wow.
So that's one of the little running gags through Rock and Roll Heaven.
Now, when did you all do that one?
We started doing that one, gosh, when we were at the Cavalier Restaurant doing dinner theater.
So how many years ago was that?
It was 95, so that's a long time. That's 20 years ago.
Wow.
And then we took it on tour for a while, and I came back and brought it to the Charleston Music Hall and did a music hall for 3 Piccolo Spoletos, and it always did well.
Are you going to bring that back again?
Yeah, my son says it's time.
I want to see it. Okay, well, let me ask this. Even since so many other great rock and roll performers have passed away, would you consider, would you add James Brown? I mean, I know
we did. The last time we did it, James Brown was in it.
Wow. So, now, what was James Brown's story?
James Brown
what was his vignette?
Well, he was, I don't know, Big Mama Thornton, she kind of had the hots for different people, like Otis Redding. I shouldn't say that on Christian TV. I'm sorry.
Fine, that's fine.
But no, she liked him, and she was always
Big
after
Mama
somebody.
needed love too.
Yeah, she did. But so he shows up, and she kind of goes after him,
Okay,
but,
okay.
And he goes, ow, he does all that.
Okay, listen, we are almost out of time.
Okay.
I can't believe it. It's like we get on this roller coaster and we ride and want to get back on.
Yeah.
I want you to look in the camera. Tell us a little bit more about about Midtown Theater.
Okay.
What classes you offer, where you're located, things of that nature. Look right in that camera and
go
for it.
We are located inside the Duval building, which is on Azalea Drive. It is 2 or 3 minutes from the interstate. It's not out in the boonies, people. We have a 200-seat theater, and we do professional quality work. We use nothing but professionals on stage and supporting the stage. And this next week we have a new show coming up called Divas in Distress.
Oh, wow.
The fabulous Mary Fishburne and Manny Houston.
Wonderful.
Who are 2 of Charleston's finest.
Great.
So,
and we are going to post this information on our Facebook page. Come back. We've got more Low Country Spotlight coming up.